Watch radishes ascend as though to heaven in this smooth, step-by-step mechanical process. As they proceed from deep within the soil to the part of the machine where they're separated from their leaves, it looks magical, but this is just the work of a genius. This is what a farmer's favorite sci-fi movie looks like, and here it is in real time. Wouldn't it just make life easier for them? This apple harvesting machine serves as a form of time travel, showing us stuff that our sci-fi dreams are made of. The robot works precisely and even gently to pluck out the apples from the trees. It's satisfying to watch, and it will be costing the workers a lot less time when harvest season comes around. This harvesting machine is a lesson in smoothness, and no one can deny that. Look at how seamlessly the top layer is being loaded onto it, leaving behind a smoother one. The workers behind are working almost as an extension of the machine. It's satisfying to see. This machine makes ridges before refilling them with soil. Not only is it easy to work with, but it also looks fun. Nothing can stand in the way of this guy. With this machine, he could easily plow anything that dares to stand in his path. This is the best way to harvest corn, and no machine can argue with that. How many times have you seen a crop go uphill during harvest? Only this once, probably. This may be the only right way to harvest cabbage, and the workers are working in sync with the machine. Isn't that so cool? The neatness of this machine is unparalleled, and despite its seemingly complicated parts and process, we can all see that they only help it do its job perfectly. It's also working quite fast. It won't take long before those workers are done planting, even though it's on such a large field. Not only is this method effective, it's also peak ASMR material. What with how eye-pleasing it is? It's fun and lots of corn. With this machine, you can harvest as much corn as you want. This is called a palletizing robot, and it will arrange baskets and baskets of fruits for you in perfect order. All you have to do is sit back and watch. And when it's done, what do you do next? Easy, just lay down more boxes. This machine might even help you sort out your emotions with how smoothly it separates the pellets from the grains of corn. So cool. Here's one cool and effective machine. Who would have thought that we would see such a thing in this lifetime? Place your bales of grass one after the other on your field, and this machine will swallow them up as though they were chained together. It is, of course, easier than gathering them up in your arms and expending all that manpower. This is an agriculturalist dream come true. We have never seen a cooler machine, have you? This way, it will cover a large expanse in a very short time. Here's how to uproot your lettuce or any other plant without a deep root. This machine does such a clean job of harvesting, it would be a perfect addition to any farmer's arsenal. This machine is worth about 5 workers. It does the jobs of these men in mere seconds, and it does it perfectly. Scraping the bark of the trees might have taken hours if done by hand, but with this impressive machine, it's quick, clean, and easy. And that's not all it does. It also cuts them clean into smaller logs. Girdling and logging are difficult tasks, but with this machine, they become way easier. How do you harvest your apples in an aesthetically pleasing way? With this impressive product of artificial intelligence that uses drones to grab your fruits off their trees and drop them in a ready basket. The precision of this machine in harvesting lettuce is not only a relief to farmers, but also a form of therapy for anyone who gets to watch this. Just look at how smoothly it's working. How about a machine that not only draws up furrows, but also plants what you need to? Sounds like a dream come true for any agriculturist. Just look at that worker sitting comfortably. Now, have you ever seen a smoother potato harvester? We definitely haven't. After this, all you have to do is happily pick the potatoes like a local farmer, knowing fully well that you are anything but. Who said apples couldn't use a conveyor belt? This machine is used to make harvesting easier. It doesn't have a picker like some more sophisticated machines, so it still needs some hands. However, the workers don't have to leave wherever they are to drop the fruits, as there's a conveyor right there before them that carries the fruit to drop them in a ready container. If you're having a cherry pie or layered cake right now, you may want to take a minute to look at the work that went into harvesting the fruit. It's not much work when you use this machine, but you can appreciate it more now. This is the Kokan 500L air harvester, and if you have a cherry farm, you definitely need it. Apple rainfall, anybody? That probably wouldn't be safe, but how about just on your farm? This harvester can be used for apples, pears, and plums, and it does a swift job. Have you got a sick plant on your farm that you want to get rid of? Take it out of the soil from the root up using this machine. Also, you won't have to worry about leaving behind a stump. Look at all those tomatoes! At first, you may just be impressed by how the machine is packing everything all up, from both the tomatoes and the leaves in one clean swoop. But again, look at all those tomatoes! The harvester separates the wheat neatly from the chaff, or in this case, the tomato from the dirt and the leaves. It leaves behind only clean tomatoes. Bell peppers can be magical additions to any meal, and the process of harvesting them is no less magical. The harvester is gigantic, but for good reason. In the end, you're only left with big, ripe bell peppers to make your favorite delicacies with. Here's the leafy green harvester 38 being used on coriander plants. It still requires quite a number of hands, but its effectiveness is not to be underrated for this reason. Just look at that! This machine will find any sweet potato you've planted, even in the deepest parts of the earth. It'll dig them up. Have you ever seen such an orderly assembly of carrots? It's so soothing to watch this machine uproot the carrots in such an orderly fashion. The machine doesn't look to be moving fast until you look down and see the number of carrots it's harvested. Whose genius idea was this? We're just as curious as you are. Now, farmers don't even have to get their hands dirty. Here's another magic planter. How long is it going to take to plant all those seedlings? We'll never know, but we don't doubt that it will. Usually, when you're watering your plants, you do it from the top to the plants below. It seems there are exceptions, or is this the future of farming? This automatic sprayer sprays water from the bottom to the top of your plants. It's quite an interesting development, we have to say. If you were asked what the fastest way to peel a mango is, you might not have mentioned this, but here it is. Now, here is a modern agricultural machine that is unparalleled. How does that even work? We may never know, but what is for sure is that it does work. How do we explain the precision and seeming tenderness of this machine? Look how it pulls out each flower with utmost care and accuracy. This only proves that technology is essentially magical just with evidence. This robot is the little errand boy that can serve as an extra pair of hands for you on the farm. Look at it go to work. It's impressive, it's effective, and you might even get carried away just watching it go. This drone sprayer looks like it came straight out of an action movie. What with it speeding about like a helicopter with holes in it? And the water! That's totally action movie material. If you want to harvest your strawberries without being there, or while listening to cute little machine sounds, then this strawberry picking robot is the right choice for you. It may not be fast, but it gets the job done. This is undoubtedly the best way to lay anything beneath the ground of your farm. Whether it's a pipe or something else, stack it on this machine and get to work. Who said you have to work manually to sprinkle anything over a very large field? That's right, no one. Especially not with the new technology that these guys are using. It looks like a drone, but with sprinklers. We can't say much about its components, but it's clearly competent. That's a lot less work than it would have otherwise taken, wouldn't you agree? You would never have guessed what was going to happen. With this machine, you can transport unbelievable amounts of any powdery or less solid substance in large amounts to and from your farm. No wonder its opening process was so complicated. Who said apples can't swim? These apples are even good at it. The process of washing an apple seems pretty easy until you have to wash thousands of them. Then you might also want to employ an elaborate but effective process like this one. Watch the apples go from dirty to clean in seconds using these helpful agricultural machines. You might not want to go too close to this machine unless you want to risk being minced. Instead of using harrows and breaking your back and out in a sweat over your farm, here's an easier way of tilling your soil in preparation for planting season. Ever wondered how thatch is made? Well, this seems to be one of those ways. Is that celery? Whatever it is, with this machine, you can clean it off in mere seconds. This is what dreams are made of, don't you agree? Imagine being able to clear all that grass, roll it into a perfect ball, and wrap it up, all without moving an inch. As we move closer to the machine, we can see just how precisely it's wrapping the bales of grass. Deliver this to someone's doorstep, and they won't be mad if just because of the impeccable package. With this giant machine, you can cover a large expanse of land in no time at all. And what will you be doing with it? Creating furrows on your farm. It doesn't look like it's doing work until you look behind and see all those furrows. Who said escalators are just for human beings? They can also be used for apples or plums as well, as this clip shows us. In the process of mass-producing some products from these fruits, we get to see some pretty interesting machines and designs, all of which not only get the job done, but are also aesthetically pleasing. Talk about killing multiple birds with one stone. This is pretty impressive, won't you agree? Try not to get on the offensive side of this machine, which is pretty much the underside. As you can see, not only does it have some offensive-looking parts, but it also seems to use little balls of fire to carry out its work. At first glance, you might never have guessed that the machine was used for bell peppers, but there you have it. Surprise! Harvesting pumpkin seeds can be a hassle, but when you have a field as large as this one, you might want to see to it that it is less of a Herculean task. That's where this machine comes in. Watch it go! This pesticide spraying machine is nothing short of amazing. It can spray a large area of land very quickly. This man and his hedge trimmer make such a great team. It's like one is an extension of the other. And their work? A lesson in smoothness. Here is how to package a bale of grass in a way that is satisfying to watch. The machine packs up the grass and neatly presses it into a bale, after which it wraps the bale in net wrap over and over until it's tightly packed, and chances of it coming apart are 0 to none. Isn't that cool? When rain falls, you don't always need an umbrella, especially when it's a rain of fruits. You might just get a tarp instead to gather your fortune. That may be the logic behind this machine and its process of harvest. Here's how to fall a tree without fear of it ever falling on your head. It's probably safe to fear this machine itself, seeing as it can even turn a tree into ordinary dust.